7:33 is your time, a day after Prime Minister Justin Trudeau applauded Newfoundland for its implementation of $10 a day childcare, roughly 3 years ahead of schedule. Experts say it's doubtful the federal program can be delivered to all the children in need of a spot by 2026 due to a lack of workers. Early childhood coach, speaker, and consultant Anisha Angella joins me live now with more on why this is happening. Good morning, Anisha.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, Faiza.
Of course. I know this is an important conversation that many parents are looking forward to hearing about. We've been covering this story since the announcement was made, and our colleagues in BC even airing a story last month saying that parents in Port Moody were left scrambling after they say their childcare center booted their kids because of staffing issues. So this is something that's being felt across the country. The question is, why is there a shortage?
Well, what I will say is with the $10 a day, it's a great initiative in hindsight, but there's a major gap in this plan, and the plan is retaining staff. And the reason why that is happening is because staff are not making a livable wage at all. They are, giving their all as early educators do in what they do. They do amazing things in the role, but they're not making a livable wage, and that's where we're seeing the gap in the plan. And really, we're making this extensive plan to have all of these spaces to create more high quality program. But who's going to be giving this high quality program? It's the early childhood educators, and we need to fix that problem.
So short term and long term, really, how can this impact this plan that the government put forward and has many support behind? Because many of these parents have been calling for $10 a day daycare. But if we don't have the staff there, then the plan really doesn't work.
That's it. You pretty much nailed it. It will not work without the educators. And I think it was proven basically throughout COVID how essential early childhood educators are. We saw centers close, all of that stuff that happened, and they had to open right back up because early childhood educators were proven as essential. And yet again, we're unfortunately being overlooked when it comes to increasing in wages and all of those things that we require for this. And, for the most part, we want to be on board for this $10 a day. We know that childcare is expensive. We know that it could be costly, and that's because we're giving the ultimate high quality care, but it just won't work at all unless we get some livable wages for the educators.
Okay, so what's the domino effect here? If families aren't able to get access to daycare, then what happens in these cases? Who is watching the kids? What impact will this have on families?
Well, exactly what you're seeing all over the province is, unfortunately, centers have to be making those phone calls to say, you know what, we do not have staff and you have to pick up your children, or you cannot bring your child today because we don't have the staff. And because we have such a tight-knit regulation around ratios and how much teachers to children, we have to keep that in place. So that's what we're seeing. And the domino effect is those spaces are going to be empty, and they're going to remain empty until we really focus on the issue at hand, which is the livable wage.
So how can we fix this issue? What steps should be taken in order to maximize the benefits of this plan?
Basically, working backwards. We've had this issue with the shortage of early childhood educators and the wage for a while now. We need to focus in-house within the industry, fix the issues within the industry, and then propose this plan once those issues have been addressed. And that's the only way that this $10 a day program will work. And as I mentioned, us educators, we want this so badly for families, but it can't work without educators.
And this is an issue, too, as you mentioned, that was impacted even prior to the pandemic with recruitment and retention, too. So it seems that a major issue here is being able to bring in the workers to be able to make this plan work.
Absolutely. As you've mentioned, it's always really been an issue, and that's why it really boggles the mind of majority of us educators in the field on how we've skipped to what seems amazing for families and skipped over what was needed in the industry way before this was actually planned to come into effect. So absolutely.
Okay, Anisha, thank you so much for being here with us and having this conversation.
Thank you so much.